All right, so Tess, when you think about skills for kindy and prep, what are some of the things that you think about for, or like as a speech pathologist?
Yeah, so there are kind of three big areas I want to talk about today for transitioning to kindy and prep. And they're thinking about narrative and storytelling skills, listening and understanding, as well as social communication and engaging with others. So to start with, narrative and storytelling is really important for children. It helps them to share their ideas and experiences. It helps them to understand events and things that are happening to them. And it also helps to support their reading comprehension as they get older. Difficulties with narrative and storytelling can look like kids not being able to put sentences together, having difficulty telling events in the right order, or having trouble understanding stories or how things flow on. You can support your child's narrative skills at home by retelling the story with them at the end. So if you're sitting down and reading a book with them, go through, oh, this happened first, then this happened. You can also do that with things that are happening to you day to day. So talk about your day in the evening before bed, at bath time. Oh, today we went to the park with Grandpa. First we went on the slides, then we went on the swings. Doing things like this with your child will help them to hear lots of really good stories, and that helps them to learn how they can tell and understand stories too. So the next thing I want to talk about is listening and understanding. This is really important for kids to take on information, following instructions in the classroom, asking questions and answering questions. Yeah, they're really important skills.
Is there anything, that families at home can be doing to help support, develop those skills, getting ready for prep?
Yeah, absolutely. So if your child's having difficulty like turning and answering to their name, or says what, or doesn't understand when you ask a question, they may need some extra help. And things you can do at home might look like playing listening games. Like Simon Says, when you say, oh, Simon says, touch your head. Can they follow that instruction? So another way is to practice giving simple instructions for your child to follow at home. That might look like giving two-step instructions, like put your water bottle on the table, then pick up your bag. Thinking about how many parts your instructions have to help them understand. It also might look like sitting and reading stories and asking questions about the page. Oh, who's in this story? What are they doing? To help them get used to asking and answering questions in the classroom.
And is there, particularly with the storytelling that you were talking about before, in the narrative retell, but also with the listening and understanding, is there sort of like a certain number of questions to be asking at one time to sort of hit that sweet spot between, developing that skill but not overwhelming too much?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great point, Ash. We don't want to be asking lots of questions all the time. When we ask lots of questions, it almost becomes like testing, right? If we're always asking a question, the child doesn't see how to answer the question, it's not going to help them come up with that answer. So typically we go like a rule of 5, make 4 comments before asking a question. The commenting is what helps them understand how to answer. We have a whole video about reading books and sharing books with your kids that goes into that in lots of detail as well.